Hi, this is Harakuma, and this is our podcast, which is the Fried Rice. And for today's podcast, I will actually explain to you guys how being a furry in the Philippines is. And I'll be interviewing a couple of furries in the Philippines, which is Verse, Nikko, and Loafi. So, can you guys introduce yourselves, starting with Nikko?
Hi, I'm Nico. Um, you might as well know me as Piano Creations and also Beat. My persona's name is Beat.
Ah, interesting. So, what kind of persona is Beat?
Um, I describe him as a demon shapeshifter.
So, you can be a different kind of species whenever you want, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go with Lofi.
Hello. And I'm Loafi, Loafi bread. I am a demon bread, and that's all.
So what kind of species of
Hi.
animal are you in the furry fandom?
I'm a hybrid plus bread. I don't know why, but I'm just bread. Mm.
Imagine I just imagine a bread with a horns on it, like a demon horn and a demon tail. So, sorry about that. And now let's go with verse.
Uh, basically, I probably am just a furry artist that has a fursuit protogen. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Protogen is a species of a closed species, am I correct?
Oh no. Primogens are close species. Protogens and
Oh.
I forgot the other one. Protogens and I want to say rare, but it's not the right term. I'm just gonna search
Uncommon.
that up. Yeah, uncommon. Yeah. You're better than me.
All right. For us to start with this interview, since we're all in the Philippines, I wanna indulge more of our viewers and our listeners that what is the difference being a furry in the Philippines rather than international furries? We all seen in the videos that
Why?
we see on YouTube, like um, furries in the US, they can actually wear their fursuits, they can do art, they have lots of conventions, and it's pretty much fun. So is it any difference in the Philippines? And I want you guys to enlighten our viewers about how different is it in the Philippines. So first off, I want to tell everyone the term of furry so that everyone in the Philippines will understand. So furry is a term for a fan of anthropomorphic animals, just like characters from Disney or How to Train Your Dragon, and lots of cartoons that you have seen before. So, without further ado, let's get started in being a furry in the Philippines. So, Nico, can you tell me more about yourself being a furry in the Philippines and how does it feel being one?
It's a bit challenge here in the Philippines because uh, Philippines is a small country. Um, I think
Yeah, yeah, the country is a bit it's a pretty small country since we only have a central city which is Manila, right? And for far as I know, that the travel takes time. Am I correct?
yes, that is also the
Oh,
problem. The travel time uh, and Philippines is a small country. At the same time, it has consists of many islands. So I mean, it's pretty much the furries are all scattered in the Philippines.
yeah. As far as I know, that our country like has you actually need to ride a train or a boat to go to another continent, and it takes like more than like 3 hour travel. So if you want to go visit to the main city, you actually need to fly by plane, even though you're in the same country. And as far as I know, that the driving, the driving from the province towards the main city of the Manila or the city, or even in the different sides of the continent, it takes like 3 hours or more. Am I right?
That is correct.
Oh, okay. So, um, aside from that, um, you actually know that some of the furries are not actually around your city. Some other times that they are like in either in Manila or Baguio or in Iloilo. So either one or two of the furries are actually far apart. So I guess I understand why it's kind of difficult being a furry in the Philippines because many of our friends, as far as I heard from other Filipino furries outside the city, they actually need to travel like 3 hours or 5 hours. As I remembered, you do travel to the from your province to the main city, right? So you rather stay there for like a week.
Yes, since that is for me kasi well, if I want to travel to a city, well, might as well I have to enjoy myself. So at least I need at least a week or so. So just to enjoy the place and meeting all of my friends. It's either furries or non-furry friends. Well, I just want to meet all of them.
That's nice. Maybe someday we can meet each other in once the pandemic is actually done, or the event that's currently happening right now. So, all right, thank you so much, Nico, for that. So, how about you, Verse? How does it feel being a furry in the Philippines?
I have been a furry for like probably 8 months, if I recall.
Oh, so
uh,
you're a new furry.
yeah, you can say that.
Welcome to the fandom. So,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Uh, why is it different to be a furry in the Philippines, right?
Oh, more like how does it feel being a furry here in the Philippines?
Oh, okay. So, I
Yeah.
guess ever since I became a furry, I'm not really experiencing that much because we don't really have the FurCon events as of now since, well, COVID and other stuff. But I've met some friends not in real life, but online, through Facebook, I guess. I've realized that there are more furries than I could ever imagine. So, like, there's a few fursuiters here in Baguio, and so much more from other places.
Oh yeah. We actually have a lot of people, but as Nico said, it's kind of difficult to actually meet each other because we are
Yeah,
all scattered around the scattered around the Philippine continents. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm really glad that you actually are also part of the fandom, and as well as um, I check here that you are actually a fursuiter as well, right?
yeah. I do be.
Awesome. Your fursuit's really cool though. It's practically one of the most by far not the most expensive fursuit that I have ever seen because you need LED lights, you need programming to make those things work, and that fursuit is really cool, especially if you wander in the night. It's nice. You really did a good job in these photos though.
Thanks. Well, it's not actual. If I commissioned someone, it would have been, it would have costed me more, but I kind of made it myself. I did have a few
Whoa.
drawbacks, such as failures or uh, imperfections, but overall, it costs me less, I guess. That would be nice.
Well, yeah, if you made it yourself, it should be a bit it's a bit cheaper than having someone build it for you. But
Yeah,
yeah, nothing is perfect. So I'm guessing you will be able to polish your prodigy someday. And man, I can't wait to see you in the fur meet someday.
yeah, that would be nice.
All right. Lofi, how about you? How do you feel being a furry in the Philippines?
Well, yes, Nico is right that being a furry in the Philippines is kind of hard since we're also mostly fursuiter because we live in the hot, hot temperature because we're a tropical city
Ah,
and mostly fursuiter on kimono are kind of hard or rarely using fursuiter in the Philippines.
Oh, yeah. As I remembered, I tried to wear my first at one time on the sunny day, and I couldn't even last a minute. Damn, it really is hot in the Philippines. So I guess pursuing in the Philippines is it's still possible, but your time is kind of like reduced, right?
Hmm. And that is a rare thing being a furry in the Philippines since we are, I don't know, kind of small but close. That's why we prefer to be online since, yes, there is COVID and we are safe, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay.
and
Um,
But it's still cool being a furry in the Philippines since we are all interested in anthropomorphic animal. Despite being we're separated in 7,000 plus islands in the Philippines,
mhm.
mostly scattered, but we can still manage.
Oh yeah, we can still manage. Actually, it's actually one of the best things that the Filipino furry community ever did. Just a trivia for our viewers. First, way back before Facebook even existed, Furry started with Yahoo Messenger. If you guys even remember Yahoo Messenger, um, it's only a handful of furries that they have gathered, and when Facebook come around, the numbers actually exploded since a lot of people in the Philippines who are into anthropomorphic animals actually wanted to join the fandom. So they just asking if there are certain group of people who likes the fandom. So yeah, and I already told this in my previous video, being a furry in the Philippines, and yeah, there's a tons of good things that we can do, and there's also some things that we actually have difficulties with, especially with the weather. um, it's kind of hard to do fursuit in public if it's really hot, and you barely can last like, I don't know, like 30 minutes is the top. I think 30 minutes is my um. It's the longest time I have been in a fursuit during sunny days. So all right, that's nice. How about this? I know in the furry fandom that all of us have what we call personas, and for new Filipino furries, such as us, or such as different furries or newbies, um they don't know what a persona is, especially with the Filipino, as they do understand anime culture like um, cosplayers, because they know who that character was. So if you're doing with a furry fandom and wearing your fursuit or your persona, people tend to mistake it. So I was wondering, what is and how do you guys make your persona? So let's start with Nico. If what it kind of how can you actually create your own persona? So for you to start your adventure as being a furry.
Actually, I started my I made my persona uh, out of likeness to that. I think no, I'm not demonic side, pero it depends. It depends on my ano. That's why I have ano I chose my persona to be a shapeshifter. Um, because well, sometimes I tend to get um angry easily. I get angry easily. Then sometimes I get uh I'm like meh whatever type thing, and some other ano traits. But my, out of I think my persona is ano it's It's more of me. It's more of my inner self.
Mm,
I mean, based on my understanding on my, of myself, syempre. um, I just really want to express myself more. Syempre, using my persona. I think it helps really in my day to day activities at an in IRL in real life.
yeah, of course. A fan. So your persona actually resembles how you feel and your inner self. So that's actually a good. That's a good, actually a good start for you to make your persona as well. And for, I guess, what is the tips that you can ask for our viewers? You can provide for our viewers that how they can create their persona. What are the tips you can provide?
Okay. No matter what your persona is, or no matter what species you want, just be you, be yourself. It doesn't matter what kind of species is your persona, or it can be a wolf, or it can be a majestic dragon. It's all you. You can be a cutesy dragon or an angry dragon. It's all you. It's all depends on you. And don't get discouraged if someone says, "Oh, you don't look like a dragon. You should be a rabbit." No, no, no. It's you. It's your persona. It's your identity, and no one has to stop you from being you, being your persona.
That's awesome. So next, let's ask for verse. What kind of persona do you have, and how did you make a persona?
I uh I have three personas. Well,
Wait, what? So
yeah, I have
you have three personas, right?
yeah, but I have to say Verse is
Okay.
my main persona. He's the blue cat wolf. He's kind of just a small. He kind of looks like a small dog, and he's color blue because it's my favorite color. That's for Verse. He's kind of like a timid, just vibing kind of cat. And then we have I forgot the other guy. Naomi. Yeah, he's a black cat. Uh, I think it's Mamba. I forgot the breed, but he's a black cat. I mainly made him so that I can animate him instead of Verse because Verse has so much stuff that needs to be animated. So I just made a simple cat. And then lastly, I have Prism, which is a protogen, and I also have a fursuit of him. It's basically I made him because I had this idea of making what do you call this, a fursuit of Verse, but then like he's quite hard to make. So I mean for me, of course. So I tried the protogen project, and then after like 4 months, I guess I did finish Prism. And the best thing about Prism is when I go to public, the people are like, when they see the protogen, they're like, "Oh, cool! This is, I think, probably from a sci-fi movie or a film or a comic." It's kind of like a low-key furry kind of thing. So like, yeah, everyone's impressed. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I do technically agree with you with the people in the Philippines actually. If they see something new, like especially with a protogen like your persona, which is Prism, and then show up flashing like LEDs all over the place, and then of course Filipinos will tend to be like, wow. Of they will be like shocked that they will check, I promise you, they will actually check YouTube for that or Google what kind of movie are you from. And yeah, Filipinos tend to do that because they really love watching movies or seeing something like they haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And yeah, and why three personas though?
Uh, Basically, they all have their own reasons. First, I guess Verse is a special one. I can't really even sell him or whatever because he's my main Sona. He's the first dude I created when I became a furry. Basically, I had no job and I had to search or I mean I had to find a way to get money at home. So I did like art commissions and apparently most of the time it's furries commissioning me. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'll create my own Sona thingy. I didn't even know it was a Sona, so I'm like, I'm gonna create my own dog guy thingy. So yeah, uh, that's verse. It came out like verse, and then now we have Naomi for basically just for animation because he's so easy to draw, and then Prism, my fursuit.
That's nice. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
First, I'll go ahead with let's go ahead with Lofi now. Come on, Lofi, tell me more about your persona and what are the things that makes you you as your persona.
Uh, so first, and I want to say that there's nothing special about my persona since I am just bred, but it will resemble as me being myself, but with my very own personality that I cannot embrace in public. The being as Lofi, it's truly different from what is actually me. So
How different.
I
Sorry.
just made bread. I don't know why I picked bread. Maybe I just like pandesal or something. So I'm a bread with just picking. There's no limit on your persona, so I just added some demonic stuff in me and a hybrid, which is wolf and deer.
I I cannot imagine like our viewers will be thinking like hey, does that mean if I actually cut one of your fingers I can still eat it and still taste bread?
No, 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 no,
Sorry.
no, no, no. I'm not edible. I am fresh, but not edible.
I actually I can actually imagine you going from a bakery store and then you just walk out of the oven like good morning and I can I can just actually picture it. You're just like smelling like bread every morning, and you're just making every Filipino's hungry. Cause just a trivia for all our viewers: pandesal is actually the best bread for our breakfast. So we
Yes,
always buy
my favorite.
pandesals in breakfast, and they're kind of sweet and really good if you put something in it, like liver spread or some butter or some jam, you're good to go. That actually tastes good. Now you're making me
Mm.
hungry, low. So I actually forgot to ask Verse. So Verse, what is your tip for making a persona for all of our friends who are starting out?
Um. Well, I guess your imagination is your. There's no limit to your imagination. I was gonna say your imagination is your limit. There's no limit to your imagination, so you can create whatever. Just note that if you're trying to create something like, let's say, for example, a protogen, you need to follow some rules and guidelines from the original creator. Otherwise, I don't know. It's not like you're gonna get bashed or blacklisted, but you still need to respect the creator, so you need to follow the rules. If you're following a specific species, but if you want to create your own, go on ahead. That's probably your best bet. Go wild,
Okay.
make your own pony robot, wolf thingy, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
dude.
Don't do that though.
Just for that's a actually good suggestion for Persona. Those who will actually willing to do that combination, I'll actually wait for you guys on the comment section. So yeah, you actually need to know that there are other personas and species that are kind of like follow a set of rules. So you need to follow those set of rules so you won't get into trouble. But overall, making a persona, you shouldn't be afraid of making anything out of thin air. So go crazy with it. Just don't actually copy or actually mess up other races that was already being copyrighted. So just always check your persona as well. Any combination will do. And for you, Lopi, what is your tip for our first time furries who wanted to create their persona?
Well, yes, that is correct. There is um possibility that is in your imagination. There is no limit or except for being species like protogen, primogen, and do you please respect other creation and uh that's oh my gosh. Bread. Oh, so just be yourself, be creative, express yourself with your own species. There's no limit except for species. Yeah, that's all I can say for beginner furry.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing. Just be careful with close species as well. Okay. So, all right. Thank you guys for letting me know about your persona and telling our viewers what a persona is all about. It kind of has a lot of meaning to everyone. A lot of things input into a persona, so they need to actually know what to do. All right. So thank you guys for so much for your answers. And now I'm going to talk about fursuits. So I actually have a fursuit my own. You guys have seen it on my videos on my YouTube channel that I've been doing lots of furry blogging and some lightsaber stunts. And as far as I know, that I wasn't able to go in um, other stores to wear my fursuit. I was like trying to, but due to the pandemic, you're not allowed. But I was wondering though that if the pandemic is gone, maybe there's a lot of limitations that I can actually need to file up. But before that, um, I want to talk to you guys about this pursuit that I have. It's actually cost like 50,000 pesos, and I actually saved a lot of money for this one. And it's pretty nice and it's really good. It was made by Das Wolf. You can actually check the link on the description and you can actually ask him for commissions. He's actually open for commissions and he is located in Malaysia. If you guys are in the Philippines and wanted to get your pursuit internationally, you can actually order from them. So I want to ask for all of you guys here, since all of you guys are furries here. I was wondering, do you guys have fursuit, and how much does it cost? Is it made by a local fursuit maker or international fursuit maker?
Okay, me first. Actually, my fursuit is made by me. Actually, I am Piano Creations on Facebook and also on Twitter. I made I made all of my fursuit based on tutorials on YouTube. I mean, I cannot remember. I have to credit all of the tutorials in the Facebook for the lessons and do's and don'ts and how to make this and that. I have to give credit to all of the tutorials in the YouTube how to make a fursuit. So then I made mine based on my I mean na uh, based on my what I've learned on the tutorials, and I think I'm I shouldn't say good, but I am pretty much okay on the fursuit making department.
It's actually okay. Your fursuit is actually doing good. I just actually checked it on on my on this picture here. This is the video you're currently dancing, right? Is it you that's currently using this fursuit?
Sadly, no. That's one of my friends. He's more he's a little bit shorter than me, so the versus is a little bit cuter than me wearing it. So he's good, very good at dancing. So I let him borrow the suit, and it's also because it's his son's birthday, so he wants a little bit of a surprise gift to his son.
That's actually sweet. That's really cute though. And well, I actually can see how happy the child is. And yeah, any one of you guys have your fursuit on? Yes, or have your fursuits? Yeah, you can guys go ahead and tell me more about it.
Who goes who?
Sure, sure.
Okay, I'm probably gonna. All right, cool. Um, I guess I started making fursuit 4 months ago. Yeah, I started drawing some protogen prototypes, I guess. The first one was kind of illegal, so I ditched that one and made other versions until 4 months later I kind of finished with Prism. Prism costs me because I didn't really have the materials nor the tools, so that overall costed me like 25,000. Yeah, 25,000. Not just because I made
Hmm.
him like once, but I had multiple failed prototypes, so like uh trial and error and mistakes were made. So yeah, and then Prism was 25,000 was just the head. The claws, the tail, and soon the feet and tongue, I guess, is created by Piano Creations. And yeah, really did a good job. What else should I talk about? What else should I talk about? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So it was made by Piano Creations, which is Nico here, and
Yeah.
wow, so it also partially made by Piano Creations. Not bad. So for all our viewers who wanted to try some local pursuiter other than Wolf, Das Wolf from Internationals, you can actually order your pursuit locally here in the Philippines, which is from Piano Creations. I'll send the link on the description below, which is for the link on the Discord. You can actually ask him for a commission for your pursuit and either PM him or talk to him personally about any tips or tricks how to do it. He can actually assist you at that. And finally, you, Lofi, do you have your fursuit?
Yes, I will have a fursuit because I'm just making it recently, so that will be my new and upcoming fursuit for or maybe this December I will finish it. And so my fursuit was I just bought by that guy, Piano Creation, from a since what Haru said. I just bought the foam base. I I ordered I ordered that recently September, so I might finish it this probably around a week. So stay tuned for that. And so that is basically it. Make I just bought some pre-made fursuit head base just for it, and that's it all done. That is my fursuit.
Oh, how much is it for the base? Just for the base
Mm,
foam, right?
Probably around 1K or plus. It might rise, but it depends on the owner itself.
Okay, that's awesome. So I'm guessing piano creations already have a couple of clients here, and maybe in the
Yes.
future I may get one. I haven't tried local Filipino person maker, and I'm glad I was able to find one. So now for all of you guys, you for those who have tried public pursuing, what is the limitations that you guys need to be aware of? Because I understand, because I met a pursuer way back then. He went to a mall, and then a police or a guard went up to him and asked him if he has a permit. And oh boy, he definitely needs to go to the security guard or the information booth to purchase a permit for him to use his person on the mall. So I don't know if there are limitations or experiences since I haven't done my private pursuing. So can you guys tell me more about your public pursuing? Is it really fine that we can do public pursuing just like in other countries that we see on YouTube?
Well, yes, you need a permit before taking in public shooting, and it is possible in the Philippines that going around wearing a fursuit full on and just have fun. Just remember, keep just you know permit.
It's like your badge. It's like a badge ID whenever you go over. So it's only for the malls, right? Or is it
Mm,
like the entire parks or something like that?
I mean,
it really depends on the
I'll
place.
continue with the Loafi. I think yes, it really depends on the the area and sometimes the management or resort. Because I fursuited once in a resort, so I did ask permission from the owner, and he happily agreed and said, yes, you can wear the suit. And um, I did some fursuiting in their resort, and I'm glad that the people there enjoyed it. And plus, yep. And as Lofi said, there's if in malls or in private properties, I think it's better to ask permission or at least talk to the guards of how, what, and how and what to do, or what should we do, uh, uh, to have access on to have granted on uh, to fursuit in that area, parang ganon. Yep.
Oh yeah, I kind of understand. Maybe it's also just my hunch though, since I haven't done person in public yet in various mall. Maybe due to that in the Philippines they're actually strict with security, so that they want to make sure you're not gonna do anything bad. Because in a fursuit you're technically wearing a mask and a full suit, so your body's kind of covered. So if anything bad happens, they can't find you. I think that's the idea. And how about others? What do you think of pursuit in public?
Yeah, I guess I'm the only one who never spoke. Um, uh, well, when I finished Prism, the other day I went out, uh, scrolling through the park, and it was okay. No, everyone was kind of impressed, and I live in Baguio City, so I don't really know any other place if it's okay to do public shooting. But I have been strolling around Baguio, uh, day and night, in and out of malls, I guess, and it was okay. I even had like there was this one night where I was strolling, taking pictures of Prism, and then there's this group of cops riding their motorcycles, or yeah, motorcycles, and they stopped in front of me. I'm like, oh no, I'm dead, and "Go-" they're like, cool suit, can we take a picture? I'm like, yeah, yeah, sure. So yeah,
I well,
they even joked about
I
it.
guess
Can we kind of like exchange masks? I kind of want that.
Oh,
That's one funny
Wow, that is
joke.
so fancy.
Yeah, but yeah, I
Very
guess it all
famous.
depends on where you're located. But here in Baguio, public shooting is very much welcome, and everyone really likes it.
I actually imagine the reason why the cops actually stepped by and they're like, "Wow, is that a new mask? I wanna use that while riding my bike." Because
Yeah.
technically, I think it's inspired. I think that guy is a fan of Tron because Tron has really awesome helmets. If you
Mm,
actually see the movie, they have really cool neon head helmets, and I
yeah.
guess they're like, "Wow, I want that helmet."
And it's like everyone that passes by, they're probably gonna take a picture of you, or they're gonna wanna ask you to take a picture of you. And they're kind of really kind people. Uh, you get to meet a lot of new people, even vloggers or YouTubers, or maybe even other furries. I've met one, I guess, last night that I was fursuiting, and yeah, yeah, I guess some cute girls, but I'm into guys, so
No worries of that. So I get, so there are actually places that people can go and have visit. So all I can say to our viewers, I guess, in my case though, in Manila, um, as far as I know, there is a place called BGC or Makati, a park in the city. I was thinking like you need a permit from them because I have a hunch that um for you to wear a fursuit or even cosplay at least, you need to get a permit. Because I actually seen people in BGC, which is Bonifacio Global City. There are cosplayers who actually got their permits for them to take pictures and pictorials all over the place. It was amazing though. It's also one of the best place and the safest if you want to get your uh, fursuit in public. So you may want to get it a permit for everything. But how about this is what I'm curious for everyone. How about pursuing outside your house or on your neighborhood? Is that even fine for all of our viewers here? Like you got yourself a pursuit and you wanna go outside and show it to the neighbors. So can you tell me more about that? If any one of you guys wanted or did it before?
Oh, never. I'm most likely getting beat up.
What?
Uh,
Why?
mostly there is some kids playing. I might they might just destroyed my fursuit. So just be cautious about your surrounding, or mostly just hire some handler if you like. Or no, you need a handler.
Yeah, you definitely need the handler because I think there are other locations in the Philippines where uh, even I was actually doing lightsabers or wearing my Jedi robe. I wasn't actually wearing a fursuit yet. Um, when doing those tricks, saber tricks, most of the people in my neighborhood back in the city was just meh. They're like, wow, cool. They're well behaved though. If you go to Manila back to my old home when I was a kid, um, I did my saber tricks and just a saber trick. I'm not even wearing any outfit. All of the kids come running towards me and like asking me to teach them how to do that. And I'm guessing that what you told me, Lofi, is that if you wear your fursuit on the street, you will be like, "Hey, I'm Lofi," and everyone will start screaming like, "Ah, let's beat him up!"
Ah, but that's not the case, Ren. Um, Baka lang, di ba?
What?
So, yeah.
I think for me naman, I tried fursuiting in outside our house. It's just I have the best thing about it is I have three handlers that time. Even though you have it's a must if you want to fursuit in public, guys. Mga new to fursuiting in public, I suggest you go find a friend, a colleague, or even a family member to guide to be your handler. If there are also new handlers, I prefer you get minimum of three, minimum of two, three, and two and above. Uh, all,
Hmm.
sometimes sometimes handlers tends to forget uh, their what do you call it?
Pursuer, right?
Yes, that one. Uh, they forget to watch you doing your pursuit your pursuit things your personas I mean the fun the pursuiter. They sometimes don't forget what they are really watching or need to protect. Yeah, that's the word. Sorry. They need to protect the first shooter. So if they are new, if they are new to fursuit handler, they are new fursuit handlers. I suggest go get two handlers for safety reasons. Because fursuits have minimal visibility, very minimal visibility. Uh, so the handlers will try to help you move from place to place, or I mean assist on walking. Sometimes you cannot see your footings. You might trip on something, or might be hit a kid. Best example is I saw Jollibee. Jollibee hit. Yes, I think most Filipino knows Jollibee, that he has a large what do you call it? Uh, Large butt.
You mean the tail, right? The
Tail,
tail.
yes, the tail, Jollibee's tail. His handler, the Jollibee employee, didn't notice the kid running at his back. When Jollibee rotates, he kinda accidentally hit the kid. So that's why handlers are a must. Preferably the more the better. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Yes, I can imagine the kid just running around and just so Jollibee and about to hug him, then got slap in the face. Oh, oh dear. Yeah, yeah, I actually agree that people shouldn't actually first time pursuers should be always have a handler. I mean, we don't know what will happen if we accidentally kick or bump into a kid and trip them over. Most kids in the Philippines, they're really hyperactive because let's face it, they really love mascots to a point that they are so rough with us. Like they wanna hug you until your bones crack. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for letting me know about for the limitation of pursuing as well. And yeah, so being a furry in the Philippines as well is, yeah, it's kind of hard. Yes, we are all separated, and the travel to the city, it's hard. So how about this is the last question I'll ask, and I know uh this is going to be like for definition for our new furries or newbies. What does make you a furry? How do you become a furry? In based on your opinion, okay? This is this is all free for all. So it's on your opinion, it's okay. It's how you see being a furry is. For me, being a furry is like if you kinda have attachments to like anthropomorphic animals, like let's say Bolt. I actually love Disney's Bolt. That movie is nice, and I always love dogs, and I kind of feel like I'm not thinking like I want to be a dog or act like a dog, but I kind of feel like, hey, I realized that I kind of have a heart of a dog because I really love them. I really understand like loyalty. I've been with my partner for like 10 years. So yeah, and some animals can actually teach us things, good things, and new things for us to understand. And for me, being a furry, like if you feel like uh yourself, being yourself, like I'm a human, but I'm kind of like a dog at heart, or I'm kind of like a fun loving or the good amount of animals that you resemble, like a bear, for example. Bear, I feel like I'm a bear because I protect my friends, I always shield them, and I make sure no one gets hurt. And give everyone warm hugs whenever I get the chance to thank them. So tell me about, so your guys' turn. Tell me more about how do you define yourself becoming a furry? How do you how are you being a furry, or based on your opinion, how does one become a furry?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think it's me.
Go ahead.
Yep. I mean, if you want to be a furry, then you are a furry. If you don't want to be a furry, then you're not a furry. This is only my opinion. If you want to be a furry because you like anthropomorphic animals, then you're a furry. You're instantly a furry. There's no initiation. Um,
There's
there's
no
no
hazing on it.
there's no hazing on on being of how to be a furry. Just if you want a furry, then you're a furry. Then if you don't want, then it's okay. That's
Yeah,
that's that's
I
for
guess
that's for my opinion.
that's actually a good. That's actually a good one. Because if you really love anthropomorphic, why not? It depends on the person actually. And how about you, Lopi? I wanna hear if how do you see a person become a furry?
Oh no, Lopi's bread.
I guess
Lopi bread is being eaten. No.
I can imagine him being inside the oven.
Just
Wait,
drinking coffee. I don't know.
no worries. A bread needs a coffee. We need to dip the bread in coffee at a time. It's only in the Philippines. Go
Yes,
ahead, Lopi.
I'm just craving coffee. So so what is said, being furry.
How do you become a furry? How can you say that you are a furry? Just on your opinion. There's no right or wrong answers.
In my opinion, being a how I become a furry. It's just like loving anthropomorphic animal. Yes, that is correct. So just like I started as B star. So it's just recently like that. I like that movie. I love it. So and you just wanted to be an animal, but not act like an animal, just like what Harui said. And it really depends on your interest too. If you want to be a furry, identity as furry, just be be you.
Nice. And how about you, Verse? How do you see yourself become a furry, or what is your opinion being a furry?
Uh, well, I guess at first because they're cute and adorable, they're really cute, like everyone here. Like, yeah. I mean, that's a fact. I'm not gonna deny that. Except me, though. I'm not adorable. And uh, it's also the creativity in art and making stories or in short, interesting lores. You basically or most of us have their own lores when it comes to making your own persona, and that kind of like makes your it's kind of like making your own movie, but it's your Sona, the protagonist or antagonist. And that kind of like inspires other to create their own personas or to become a furry because you have such interesting story and they want their own, or it's just basically cutesies like that's an adorable dog furry thing. Can I have
Oh,
one of those?
nice, nice.
But
Because
yeah.
I actually imagine that you told me about you are interested in lores, right? There's technically a lot of furries right now in anime, movies, and cartoons. Because for the past few years, I guess, there's a lot of drought on furry content or furry animals in the animating industry. Because as far as I know, everything is all human now. Even Star Wars has furries on them. I mean, come on.
Oh, I can agree that that.
Yeah, I guess they're hot too.
Actually, furries become the hot topic of every commercial. So I'm sorry, I'm just gonna follow up this with one final question. So, do you guys what is the move? Do you guys think that Zootopia is the one that made or inspired the return of furry animated films back from all those years? Because I seen a lot of people saying like, "Hey, we seen Zootopia did well. It even beat Deadpool." I'm so sorry, Marvel fans. Um, and then they started to create many furry cameos. Even Gundams. I mean, there is no furry in the Gundam before. Like their entire series way back then, they're all humans and super soldiers and then aliens, but they never express furry characters in Gundams. And I was shocked. Like it's beginning to become a trend. And even Star Wars is joining in. So do you guys think it's Zootopia's fault that the Zootopia's fault that we are coming back in the film industry or the animation industry? Even the Philippines actually has that.
I mean, I guess it did boost the furries, I guess, having much more furries than ever. But I wouldn't say it's the only cause. So it's definitely like a big leap forward, but there's a lot of other things that caused the furries to rise. But that's probably number one, yeah, most likely.
So how about you, Lofi or Nico?
Uh, so yeah, Zootopia has major effect in the furry feather, or well, yeah, it's basically I like Zootopia. I can Many people love it, even non-furry enjoy it. Holy shit!
Yes, none furry actually none, none furry actually sees it like, oh, it's an awesome anime. It's a good. Many anime lovers actually watch that and they're like, wow, this story is really intriguing because it's like Zootopia but darker. How about you, Nico?
I mean, it depends on. I mean, it's still on it depends. I think Zootopia is one of the one uh one one ingredient that boosted the furry fandom. The on movie and or series industry. I think I have to mention also Beastars. I think it also boosted ano, in some way. It also helped boosted the furry fandom to be on more on the what the movies or in TV series type TV series type shows. I think I for me I think Beastars and Zootopia boosted the ano, furry in the movie and TV show industry.
Nice. So anyway, thank you guys for actually visiting our channel and listening to our podcast. This is actually our first podcast. There will be many more for us discussing about furry stuff, like someday in the future, like arts and fursuiting, and more of some more furry topics in the future. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Harukuma, and see you guys soon. And have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye bye.